Welcome to the Smart Business Show, episode 87. Today is a momentous day. It's going to be the first time we have a guest on the show. We're going to have Jason Resnick on in just a second, and he is going to talk about a productized business. He does not do one and done projects. He has recurring clients that pay him monthly to do a specific type of job. So listen to this and really think if that model can suit your business or how it can, because it probably can suit 90% of the businesses that are out there. What could you do to move to this model of recurring clients without one and done? So welcome, Jason. Can you please give us an intro to your business, to yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Curtis, for having me on. I help established e-commerce businesses built on WooCommerce and WordPress and help them increase sales through optimization and conversion strategies.
That sounds like a mouthful. So you help people make more sales, right? That's
Exactly.
it. Okay.
Yep.
Make their checkout look better, make their site work better. I guess
Yeah.
technically not even look better. Work better is the goal, not necessarily
Exactly.
look better.
Yep.
So what did you do before this? Because your business is productized, and that's why we have you on today, right? You're not, doing a one and done project over and over. You have recurring clients that work with you regularly, correct?
Yes. Yes. Before that, I was doing a lot of contract-based projects, where it'd be, 3 to 6 months, sometimes e-commerce, sometimes not. A lot of theme development, custom plugin work, all that kind of stuff. Basically, what somebody needed me to develop, I developed.
Okay, so just general WordPress stuff.
Yes.
And that meant you were still in the cycle of continuing to find clients all the time. Like every project you started kind of started from scratch again, right? Income-wise, or every
right.
month. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
So what does your business look like now, billing-wise or client-wise?
Well, now it's more of I look at myself as more like a partner to my clients. I like to understand their business, their goals, what they're trying to accomplish with the website, because oftentimes what they come with, I need a redesign of a site. That's not ultimately really the reason why they're here. So before I even get all technical with them on the initial calls, it's really just about understanding where they want to go in 3, 6, 12 months time. And I essentially lay out a game plan for them to accomplish that. I work month over month with all my clients. And that's really because to understand the audience that they're targeting, whether it's customers or service-based or, it's a charity organization, whatever their customer is, sometimes needs tweaks along the way. I mean, there's best practices that I follow, but depending on the kind of audience, there's tweaks. You have to measure, see what's working, what's not working, capitalize on what's working. Let's do that again, that kind of stuff. So
You're doing some of that through A/B testing?
yes. Yeah, a lot of A/B testing, a lot of heat mapping, some scroll analytics, that kind of stuff.
Cool. So what does your current week look like now as far as working with clients and organizing your time?
Yeah, my week now is very structured versus when I was doing projects all over the place. But Mondays for me is always a day of work. I like to start the week off basically moving the needle in the business, whether that's clients, whether that's, my own business, whatever it might be. So it's always a day of work. I don't take any calls unless I schedule them. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and probably half of Thursdays is usually client work. Thursdays is a little bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes it's internal projects as well, business development, that kind of stuff. And then Fridays is all of my calls. Thursday afternoon into Friday is usually all of my calls. I have weekly scrum calls with my clients just to touch base. They're usually quick calls, 10, 15 minutes. And that's all at the end of the week.
And what do you go over in those calls?
Usually we go over what we accomplished this past week, what we want to accomplish next week, and just make sure that we're moving forward on the bigger picture goals. And if they have any shift of priorities that I need to know about, let's say they're going to an event or running some sale or something like that. Like the holiday time usually is when they start shifting priorities on me.
Cool. So how did you make the jump to a productized business?
Well, before I even did WordPress development, I was doing everything, Ruby on Rails and PHP, as well as WordPress development. And then when I focused in on WordPress, I saw what that did for my business as it increased revenue, and it freed up some time because I didn't have to kind of chase my tail, not only with the tech, but with the clients as well. And when I started with WordPress, I started dabbling in the recurring revenue, like just doing maintenance for clients on a month-to-month basis. So I thought, how can I combine the two, focusing on a solution and making it recurring? How can I do that? Because I saw that those two pivot points in my business allowed for an uptick on what I wanted to do, like whether it's revenue, spending quality time with family. It was actually moving the needle towards why I wanted to freelance anyway. So I just really focused in on really identifying my customer and their biggest chronic pain point. So identifying this pain point that would be, even if I solved it, would it recur again? So like these are a lot of things like e-commerce optimization. So great, we can get to a 15% increase on sales through the shopping cart. Now, how do we get to the next goal? What's the next goal? Is it another 15%? Is it 30%? Is it, are we comparing to last quarter, last year, that kind of stuff? So just really identifying that big chronic pain point for me was how I made that jump.
Was it scary to change over though, or to find that niche and narrow down?
Yeah, because as a freelancer, somebody's ready to give you some money, even if it's just like a theme design. It's hard to kind of like push that aside and be like, nope, I don't do that. But I knew that taking on those projects for me meant I wasn't focusing in on capitalizing on what I was good at.
What was your biggest mistake as you transitioned to the productized business?
Um, I would have to say accountability. And it wasn't really that I was dropping the ball, so to speak. It was more like I was kind of running two businesses during that transition. So like for me, I was like, okay, what am I working on today? And is that actually getting me forward? It was like handling clients, handling marketing, handling, sales process, outlining the processes for the productized business. So until I really started, I literally on a whiteboard every week, I would write down what I needed to do and accomplish this week for the new business model. And then I put a hard deadline on when I wasn't going to do the old model anymore.
Would you go back to doing one-off projects?
I still do one-off projects. I just do them when I have time and interest. So like if something came across that seemed like an interesting problem to solve for me, then, as long as I had the time, I would do it.
Would you go back to that as your full-time model though?
No.
Not if you could help it, eh?
Right.
How'd you decide on your pricing?
For me, pricing's very subjective, right? It's really what somebody will pay for something, right? If it's a big enough pain point, they'll pay more for it. So I had experience in the e-commerce space for years before that, building all sorts of different e-commerce sites and apps and all that other stuff. But I wasn't really keen on building new sites, but I wanted to be able to affect the bottom line of the sites and the clients. So for pricing, I kind of took a couple of factors into play. One was the value of the service to the business, how much they wanted me available to them as well, how many clients I could handle handle at once with the level of service that I wanted to provide, and then the revenue that I really needed to maintain to keep the business afloat and sustainable.
So, if you had one resource to recommend for someone who wanted to productize their business, what would it be? Or one tip?
Well, one tip is tough because, I mean, I watched, read,
Like,
attended
well, what did you
conferences.
watch and read then? What were the big things that affected your business to go productized?
Yeah, the one thing that always resounded was finding that one solution to the one problem that your clients have, because then that allows you to be able to optimize the processes within your business in order to increase profits, increase services to your clients, whatever that might be. So if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, then that's where you'll find that, you'll get good at. You become the go-to person.
Mm-hmm.
And, people are just like, oh, hey, he's that e-commerce guy. So, that's what you want, because then people will pay the premium fees for that.
All right. Where can people find out more about your business?
I'm at Res on Twitter. That's RE3Zs.
Why three
At
Z's?
You really want to know?
Sure, why not?
Well, back in the day when I did gaming, I
Uh,
was Res with two Z's, and I signed up one day, and that was already taken. And then I was like, all right, I was too lazy to come up with anything else. I added a third Z, and I built the domain on it a long time ago, and it just stuck. It's nice and short,
mm-hmm.
so I stuck with it.
I named my business because I needed some funky name for a design business. That's why it's SFN Design.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's whatever works.
It does. It works. Awesome. And then your site is the same, reswith3zs.com, right?
Yep, exactly right.
Well, thanks for being our first guest ever.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.